Good afternoon, friends. Welcome back to Gulf Coast Urban Farm with Dolores. Me. I almost didn't film this video today. I came out with every intention of doing it and got in my garden shed, and I didn't clean it out last year, so it was in like super sad shape. I just spent 3 hours cleaning out the garden shed and getting it all tidied up and kind of putting things away the way they needed to be put away. So then I sat down and I said, but I still need to plant these seeds. So after resting for a few minutes, I decided, yes, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So without further ado, let's get started. The lighting may not be the best, but I'm outside, I'm breathing fresh air, I'm in nature, so I'm good. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do today is we are going to plant some tomatillo. I had the awfulest time trying to find these seeds, and I finally found them at Tractor Supply when I went to get some chicken stuff. I don't know why I didn't think to check there, but I didn't. So we're going to plant some of these, and I'm only going to plant the tomatillo in that set right there. I already have my tags made, because if I don't make them up front, then guess what doesn't happen? Yeah, we don't get the tags made. So I'm going to plant 2 to 3 seeds per pot, per little just because, you know, I'm trying to hedge my bets about whether or not germination happens. And if I get all of them to germinate, that's okay too. I don't really care. That'll just be more tomatillo plants that I have. That means more green salsa. That's all that means. So I'm okay with that. Alright, so like I said, I'm planting 3 seeds per little section in this thing. Now this is one of the little heated contraptions. This goes to a little heated contraption that I purchased earlier, and I haven't ever used it. So we're going to use this today until these seeds germinate, because I'm also going to plant some holy basil, which I think the first little bit that I planted, I think it just wasn't warm enough for it, because I did not put it on a heat source, and I think it needs more heat. So we're going to test that theory out. A friend of mine told me that's what it was, so she does a lot of gardening, and I tend to believe her. I've just never grown holy basil before, but it's supposedly a really good basil, and it has beautiful, beautiful flowers that the bees love. And I don't know if I've told y'all, but I'm all about making sure that the bees are happy. So yes, there is that. Alright, so we've got the tomatillos planted. So I'm going to put those over there. I will at some point plant some more. The next thing we're going to plant is borage. Now that's another herb that I have been told the bees love, and so I'm going to plant some borage. I'm really going all out with some of these herbs that I have never planted before, and I'm really excited actually to get these planted. So I'm going to put 2 seeds per section for the borage. Now those are, if you don't know, those are some pretty big seeds. So these are easy to make sure that you put 1 per hole actually, and hopefully I will get lucky and I will have 100% germination rate. Yeah, I don't expect that, but should it happen, I won't be upset. Just in case you were wondering, I will be more than happy to have 100% germination rate. I just don't expect it, but you never know. Alright, there's another. So, what are you planting this year in the herb department? I would like to know. If you would, tell me what you're planting in the herb department, and put your comment down in the comment section below, and let's just talk about it, and tell me why. If you're and are you planting anything different, or is it something that you always plant? Because here comes the holy basil. Now, when I said it didn't do well, I just planted it this year. This is the first time I've ever planted it, and I'm hoping that it's because it needed more heat, and then when I put this in this one, that I will get some germination. That's what I hope, and we'll find out if that's the case. Now, these seeds are like super tiny. You see that? They are super tiny. So I just sprinkled some of the seeds in there, and I did wet this soil quite well before I started planting it, because I want some good germination, and I don't want to wash seeds away. And I knew these seeds were like super small. Now, not all of them are, but these particular ones are super small. So and it would be nice if I could get, I want this stuff all over the yard, because not just the backyard, I want it in the front too. I want a food garden, people. I want all sorts of flowers for pollinators, not just bees, but all pollinators, quite frankly. I wouldn't mind having, you know, butterflies, bees, birds, whatever kind of pollinators you can get. I mean, do birds pollinate? I don't know. I really don't know. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is basil, and it's purple ruffles. I've never grown this either, but it looks like it's going to be really pretty, and I love basil, so I'm expecting this to be really good. I'm actually planting 3 different types of basil today. The holy basil, this purple ruffles basil, and Genovese basil. I'm not Italian, but I sure do like basil. And I'm gonna sprinkle this around in there too. Now I'm really hoping that I get some good germination on this, because I'm wanting a lot of basil. because I want to dry some basil as well as be able to use it fresh. Like I said, I just love basil. And, you know, basil is good. If you don't think so, I'm sorry. But I can't imagine anybody not thinking basil is good. If I'd have said rosemary, maybe, but, you know. Although I do think rosemary is scrumptious as well. But I have a rosemary bush. And it is growing into a bush, so, you know, living down on the coast, it doesn't get really cold, so you tend to be able to have rosemary just rampantly. Alright, so we're done with that one, and we're going to do the Genovese basil now, and that's the Genovese basil. And I'm going to put a little tag in, and then I'm going to open this. Now this is an organic basil, and it says this is great for the pollinators too. And how in the world is this supposed to be open? It opens from the bottom, people, apparently, because I'm not going to tear it. It doesn't open from the bottom. I didn't plan this out, did I? Because I don't even know how to get it open. I'm sorry, guys. I wore myself out cleaning that garden shed. Not that I did anything a whole lot this morning. I mean, but I started about 11 a.m. Came out here, was going to do the video and plant this stuff. And now here it is, almost 3, and I knew that it was almost 3 because I live across from, well, not totally across from the school. Parking lot is across, the parking lot for the school is across from me, and they've got car rider line going on right now. So I knew that it was about 3, and since they're not totally lined up down the road, I knew that it had to be close to 3 because the car rider line starts about 2:45. And alright, let's get this planted. And ooh, that wind, I had a burst of wind there. Had to close my hand, didn't want my seeds flying away. You know, Sharpies are wonderful items as what they were made for, but they're also wonderful items for roaming around in the dirt and doing it and then covering it back up. So I say do what you gotta do, and if you got to use something for something it wasn't made for, as long as it works and you're not hurting anybody, I say do it. Speaking of which, you know, I got the chicks, and I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do for either a tractor or some kind of coop. I think I've got the coop figured out because I have, behind my potting shed, I have another shed. And what I'm going to do, it's just got a bunch of junk in it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean out that shed, and I'm going to predator-proof it, excuse me, I'm going to predator-proof it. Put some hardware cloth under the eaves where there's some openings, and then I'm going to put some roosting bars and nesting boxes in there, so when they're big enough I can do that, and then I can take some chicken wire or something. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that yet, but I'm going to make me a tractor out of the frame of an old trampoline. Yes, I'm going to make a chicken tractor out of the frame of an old trampoline. That's the plan, and hopefully that will work. I can hope. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we are going to plant some early jalapenos. This is not the only jalapenos that I'm gonna have, but when I saw that it said early on this one, I thought, who doesn't want early jalapenos? This one actually, well, no, it doesn't say that. Yes, it is supposed to be mature, have fruit that is mature in 66 days. That's pretty good if you ask me. Plus, it will also set fruit in cooler weather, which we're about not to have any cooler weather down here, so that's really not an issue. But it's nice to know that I can do that if necessary. Now, I'm only going to put just a few in these because I want more than 4, and that's all the little boxes I've got here. There's only 4 spaces here, and I really want more than 4 jalapenos in this variety because I have a feeling that they're going to be really good. And since they are early, I mean, I need lots of jalapenos anyway, so it really doesn't matter whether they're early or not, quite frankly. I just need lots of jalapenos. Do you like jalapenos? Do you use them a lot? And by the way, you see me throwing those sticks out of this stuff. I'm not throwing them on the concrete area. This table is a little over halfway in the area. So when I throw, it's actually going out in the side yard, which is great because I still need to clean up this area under this little, it's really an old carport. I live in a house that was built back in the mid to late 60s, and this carport, whoever bought the house put them a carport back here. It has a concrete pad and everything, and it's really kind of nice because when I first moved in, I used it as a patio, and now I still do a little bit. If I've got company, I do have a patio outside the French doors of my dining room, which sometimes if I'm just coming outside to sit, that's what I'll do. Alright, so all of these are done. I'm not done planting. I've still got some sweet potato slips to plant. I've got some red potatoes to plant. I've got numerous other things that I need to get planted. It's 3 o'clock. I plan on doing this until 4, but I know you don't want a video that long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff done, and I'll be back in a minute. Alright, friends. The first thing we're going to do here is we are going to get my purple coneflower planted, and I'm going to put it in a container simply because I put it in the yard 2 years ago, and it still hasn't come back, so I don't know if it's going to. But I know what I am going to do. I'm going to put it in this container, and then I will have more control over it. That's the plan anyway. So, just so you know. Okay, I'm going to go over to the water faucet so that I can wet this down pretty good. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, so I got that wet down. Now we're going to plant these And can I have that seat, please, Harley? Come on. Thank you, baby. That's my sweet baby, Harley. Alright. So I'm going to plant these. I know nothing about this. I'm going to admit I got it from a big box store. I don't know if it's going to really do anything, and maybe that's part of the reason that I want to plant it in a container, is mainly to see if it's going to do anything. You know, you just never know when you're dealing with things that come bare root in a big box store, or even if they come like this with some dirt in it. It's still not, it's just the root, and supposedly there's some roots in there. Well, there's one. How many is supposed to be in here? Just 2. Oh, great. And there's the other one. Alright. So we got to keep. I may wish I had put that in a different box, in a different container, because I have a blackberry bush that I want to put in something, and quite frankly, oh no, I see what I'm going to put it in. It's back there. So, alright, well, I'm going to have to put some more water in this in a little bit, but right now we're just going to move it to the side. And I'm going to use that for a trash can. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, because I didn't bring the blackberry bush out, I need to go do that. I need to get it. Okay, friends, this is what we are planting right now. It's called a bushel and berry. It's a homegrown berry, and it's for a container if you want to do that. It supposedly fruits twice a year, in the summer and the fall. Of course, it won't do it this year. It'll be next year before it does it, because it takes 18 months for it to get ready to do that. So, we're going to plant this. Now, as you can see, it has some leaves already. That's kind of why I bought it. And I just bought it yesterday when I was at Tractor Supply. It was just calling my name, and I couldn't help it. I just had to have it. So, let's get this planted. Okay. All of this. That down there. Open this up. Now, I need to make a deep, because you're not supposed to curl anything up with it. That's what the directions say. And this is a long, well, it's not as long as it looks. Let's just put that dirt in there because it was growing in that dirt. So it's not that big of a deal. Alright. Okay, I just dumped dirt all over my feet. Not that I mind. I really hope y'all can't see my feet in this because they are nasty from cleaning out that garden shed. I just don't mind telling you they are nasty. Okay, now I am going to put just a little bit more dirt in here. And this is supposed to get full sun. So I'm going to have to move it out from under here, and that's okay. I don't mind. I can put it any number of places for it to get full sun. Alright. Alright guys, I'm going to call it a day. It's still pretty out here, but there's some things that I need to get done inside the house. So I first want to say that if you are a subscriber and you have come back to watch this video, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support on my channel. And I hope that you can either learn something from me, or you can put a comment down under the video and you can give me some advice that maybe I'm doing something wrong. I don't mean for anybody to think that I think I know everything, because I don't. This hair is natural, but that doesn't mean that I'm any smarter or wiser than anyone else. So with that being said, if you notice something that I'm doing wrong, please by all means drop me a comment below and tell me what it is and tell me what I should be doing, because you know, you only do what you know, and if you're doing it wrong and no one tells you, then you can't fix it. So with that being said, I appreciate my subscribers. If you are not a subscriber and you joined us today, I want to thank you so much for joining us, and I want to ask you to consider hitting that subscribe button below. And when you do, go ahead and hit the bell and determine how you want your notifications to be sent to you. And by all means, I want everybody to come back and watch more videos. I want you to interact with me through the comments. I want to be a true friend, and I want you to be a true friend. If we care about one another and we support one another in whatever endeavors that we are doing, life is so much better. And with all the bad things that go on in the world, we need people. Literally, we need people. Even if it's through YouTube videos, we need people. So, I'm going to sign off for now. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope to see you back on the next video. Have a great day, y'all.